How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Wanted to start this video out here so I could get this product out of its box, and it's a little on the large side, so it's just going to make it a little bit easier to do this unboxing not in Lucky. So a while back, the company EcoFlow reached out to me and they offered me a couple variety of their products. The first one being what is called the Wave 2. Now, if I'm being honest, I don't normally like to do stuff like this. I find it very hard for me to come up with ways to talk about products when it comes to van life. But at the same time, when they reached out to me, I was going through some stuff. Don't try to eat my hand, box. I was going through some difficulties with my diesel heater. I'm probably cutting my head off. Maybe I should come down here. And this thing, believe it or not, is apparently an air conditioner slash heater. I have zero experience with anything like this. I know nothing about it, so we're all going to learn together. I say we get this guy open and check it out, and then we'll actually give it a shot because it's still quite chilly in the evenings. So maybe tonight we try to get some slumber. That's unrelated to anything else. I just sleep like crap. But hopefully the EcoFlow Wave 2 will keep me nice and comfortable and warm. Unless I leave it on air conditioning mode, then I'm screwed. All right, let's get this bad boy open. The first thing that I noticed when I got the box in the mail and got it loaded into the van was that it was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be because, you know, whatever's inside here is obviously going to be smaller than the box. So that's nice because I had seen other portable air conditioning units before that they're quite large. So I don't really know what to expect here. Let's see what we got. Ooh. Wow. Look at that presentation. Hang on. You better come take a look at this. That's cool. So obviously this is because it's an air conditioner, it's going to have ducting to get rid of the air and the condensation and whatnot. Very fancy. Even the foam is fancy. All right, stay on track. There's the quick start guide. I'll probably give that a peek so I know exactly what the heck I'm doing. Look at this stuff. It seems very high end. And I'm just hanging out in the parking lot down at Fish Creek Park. Vanlife. All right, let's get this stuff out of here and try to be careful. It looks very expensive.
Are they heavy?
Yeah.
Then they're expensive. Put them back.
Okay. Quick start guide. Hang on in my chair. Okay, so we got some sort of, I would assume, window connectors maybe for the hoses. I don't know. We got, ooh, look at that tiny hose. I don't think that's what it was intended for, but it works well as a whistle. That is a heavy hose. That is 2 hoses in one. I'm not gonna be able to do much about the air conditioning feature for a while. All right, yeah, it's large. Obviously not as large as I thought still, because it's inside the box. Ooh, look at this guy. All right, let's get rid of the, anything else in there that's important? No? Beat it. Ah, very cool. All right, so my first impressions here is it looks like a spaceship, and I appreciate the design. And does it have a battery on it, or does it need to be plugged in? I don't know how this stuff works. Power? Nope, stop pressing buttons, Matthew, if you don't know what it does. That's clearly in the way. All right. All right, you know what? I'm going to read the quick start guide. That's probably really bad lighting. I'm going to read the quick start guide. All right, let's see if I've learned anything here. On the side, we got this sticker we can remove. Not well, obviously. A little inept. There we go. All right, we got a little trap door here. Ah, so this is where it gets plugged into. That's a lot of plugins. Let's take a peek at the bottom here. Watch me drop the whole thing. I just review done. Yeah, that's where the battery would go. It does not come with a battery. That's to be expected in this day and age. We need to connect it to a power source, which I've got plenty of in Lucky. So let me kind of do that, and we'll see what kind of wattage this thing draws. Curious. Okay, so I got this bad boy plugged in up here. It definitely looks larger when it's sitting on top of my fridge, but hey, plugged in over here to the Vitamin. Let's give it some power. Well, we're drawing. Oh, you know what I need to do? Hi, Penny. Can you do me a favor and turn the inverter off? No, I didn't think so. What's the point in having dwarfs if they don't do chores? Power? Ooh. Oh, dang. Look at that space age technology. Something's happening. Yeesh. Calm down, EcoFlow. What are you doing? It's blowing. It's blowing right at me. What's it blowing? Ooh, it's even got a nice space age light. Hello. This is why I'm using my microphone, because I knew there would be air blowing at my face. Hopefully it's not affecting the microphone. I don't use this mic often. But shout out to Martin. Thank you again for the mics. So what is this doing? Okay, this is pretty straightforward. Without me looking at the manual, we got a little snowflake there. So I'm going to assume that means cool. This is why you're going to want to vent it, because the hot air is blowing out back here. But it is still chilly. So what is this? I'm going to assume this changes modes. Is that supposed to be a sun? Oh, it's in Fahrenheit. Is there a way to change that, EcoFlow? I'm Canadian. Oh, this button has an M. What does it do? Oh, that's just max mode. That's what M means. Oh, God, stop it. Oh, night mode. Quiet mode. So then this would be, make it cooler, make it hotter. Fan speed. There you go. It changes up there. Make it hot in here. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. So I'm assuming this is what it's set to, and this is what the ambient temperature is with my little house. Missed opportunity, EcoFlow. That should have been a picture of Lucky. I'm kidding. Calm down. Ooh, the light changes to orange to tell me I'm in heating mode. It's not hot yet. That's so cool. I'm going to give that a minute, and we will check in once it's hot. Fix your hat. You look stupid. Okay, I got a little excited there with the low wattage. It's now at 257 watts. I put it back on max mode, just like, why not? Warm me. Oh, there it's getting hot. But I bet you it's... Does this thing still have to be vented even in heat mode? Oh, 270, 268 watts. You see, it's blowing cold air out of this thing. So this is going to have to be vented. Like out my roof fan. Arts and crafts incoming. Did you just take a poop? These bloody cats. I'm trying to do a product. Look at over here. Yeah, so this is blowing hot out of here. Well, warm right now. This is blowing ice cold. Makes sense how this unit works. Aha! I found out the most important thing. If I hold down both temperature buttons, boom! Celsius. Welcome to Canada. 30 degrees. Interesting enough, part of the packing material is actually for your windowsill, or like in my case, maybe this fan. This is where you can mount this, and that's where the two hoses would go. So you do have to exhaust it, even in heating mode, as far as I understand it. These are going to go to the outside or your window. And then if you were like, as the picture illustrates, let's say in a tent, you could have the unit outside, and then you would just have one hose coming out of the top here, going into the tent. Now, in my specific scenario here, I really can't get the hoses all the way from here up to this vent. If like you had like a side window or something, maybe, but what I'm betting what might work is when I get settled tonight, I will roll down my windows a crack in the cab, and I will run the hoses sort of on top of the fridge and cover and close my curtains. And then the cold air will be getting blown into the cab and hopefully out those windows. And then this heat will be trapped behind my curtain. That's what we're going to try. But that's going to take some organization, which I'm not going to do yet because I'm not ready to hunker down. So we'll see you when I am ready to hunker down. I'm not hunkering down yet. Obviously, like zero time has passed, except for enough time has passed for me to make it look like an alien. So this is what it looks like when it has those hoses attached. But what I realized was that these hoses are really long. They give you plenty of hose to play with. Everybody just calm down. But we're going to try and see what we can do here. Actually, I'm going to use two hands. I was given two hands. Let's use both. Look at this. Oh, massive. This one's going to go here. This one. Yeah. Okay. Over there. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to do this in like a Walmart parking lot. Although that'd be funny. And it's still an easy way for a cat to escape. Wait, hang on. Don't go. You're not. Maybe not under the steering wheel. There we go. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. I'm going to try and warm up Lucky, probably on eco mode, because I noticed on that max mode, I think I actually got up to over 400 watts, which my little solar generator wouldn't last very long, like maybe a couple hours. But obviously this would be much better if I had shore power. But either way, let's get it powered up here and see how long it takes to sort of get Lucky nice and warm. We're going to put it on eco mode. Let's crank up that temperature as much as we can. Okay, so 30. There we go. Let's see what happens. So on that mode, we are using around 80 watts. Not corn pops, but in theory, I don't need this shield on here. These are super easy to put on and off. They just go into the vents. And that's what you need to attach the other hoses as well. Put that on our poop buckets for now, or the floor, and we'll give this a minute. See what happens. I'm gonna go roll that window up. Doesn't seem like a very controlled experiment with it rolled down as much as it is. But that's a little bit better, because yeah, the air come out of here, nice and cold. So it's sucking air in this way as far as I know. Why the hell would you want it to pull in outside air? I'm not a scientist. This one's nice and cool. Hello? Hello? Okay, so story time. Since the last clip, it has been quite a bit of time, and in the interest of being fully transparent in the world that we live in, you got to be honest, and I don't ever want it to appear like I'm not being honest on this channel, because what's the point in that? I've said time and time again, when I talk about products like these that are sent to me, I'm not looking to make any money off of them. I'm looking to get you guys discounts and deals, because stuff is very expensive in this day and age. And so, with that being said, that unit that was in the last few clips that I unboxed, it worked that day. The next day, it would not turn on. Nothing. No rhyme, no reason. It just would not power on. Not with the battery that they sent me, not with trying different plugs, nothing. It was just bricked. And now, to EcoFlow's credit, they were very quick to work with me and send me a return mailing slip and a brand new unit. So, you know, this stuff happens. So I'm not going to hold it against them. That is what it is. This one I have tested once or twice so far. It worked both on wall power and on battery power. And if you've been following along on my videos, then you know there was a time, actually, well, right now, but it's not included in that vlog, where Lucky is basically parked for 2 days, right? I'm waiting for a wheel alignment. And the sun is out in full force today, and we're going to see a high of probably 22 degrees Celsius. And that can get quite warm, especially when you're in direct sunlight. Now, I've got my window blockers up and whatnot. Come on, Stella. But these little guys, I got to go do some running around, and these guys are going to stay here in the house. So I figured now is the perfect time to test out the air conditioning function. And I'm not even going to bother with the hoses and stuff. Obviously, you could do that if you want, but I'm just going to have this forward on my fridge. We're going to draw the curtain in a way that sort of blocks off the cab. I've got both of my windows cracked a bit, both the drivers and the passengers. And then we'll just let it vent out into the cab. And then kitty cats can just come back here and stay nice and cool. I'll even kind of offset it here, so there's a nice pathway for them to come through right here. This battery, I think, is definitely the way to go, depending on your power supply. Like, obviously, if you've got like 10,000 amp hours of battery juice in your setup, then no big deal, right? If that's the case, you probably already have like a ceiling mounted air conditioner. So I'm gonna turn the battery on. There we go. Power the unit on. Ooh, come up here, get up on my knees, old man. Here we go. It's actually in heater function right now. You can see with the orange glowing light. So let's change that, because that's not ideal. There we go. Now we're on air condition. And we are going to, let's put it on eco mode, because, how do I do that? Max, night mode, eco mode. See if we can get the most out of this battery. Just gonna open up these vents here a little bit. It's already blowing cooler air than it is in here. This battery says it's gonna run for 99 hours. I feel like it's still sort of figuring stuff out. And let's cool it down. Let's have it set to, what? Let's go 19 degrees Celsius. That should be nice and cool temperature in here for the kitties. Stella already jumped into the cab. I don't think you're gonna like it up there pretty soon, but it is what it is. Yeah, the battery's still saying it's gonna run for 99 hours. I don't know if I quite believe that, but we'll keep our eye on it. This little Wi-Fi symbol is great. The app on your phone that you can get, you can completely control this entire unit from your phone, and it works flawlessly. I was thoroughly impressed. I'm gonna go do my running around, and we will check back in and see where the battery's at and how cool it is in the house. Just about to leave, and this thing sort of made a noise. Everything kicked on, and now we're looking at something a little bit more realistic, 9.4 hours, which is still, that's a lot of air conditioning on a battery, so we'll see. All right, so I just got back to the van. I had a timer running ever since I hit start on the air conditioner. That timer, I just stopped it at 3 hours and 8 minutes. So let's come in here. And he's showing us the floor is the coolest spot. That's good to know. Hang on, Penny, I'm coming in. You too, Stellies. This is still going, so that's a good sign. Still blowing cool air. It definitely hasn't cooled off like the entirety of the van. Now this may be mostly because it's spitting so much hot air out the back there. So I'm gonna have to do this test again and maybe try to get those hoses right at the windows. Cause yeah, there's definitely still, and it's not unbearable, right? You guys are still alive. How much we got left on the old, we got 1.8 hours left on our battery. I did turn it down to 16 degrees because at 19, it just didn't seem quite cool enough. I'm still saying it's 23 degrees in here, so that's not so bad. I mean, for something that's going to cool you down, me sitting right here and letting this sort of like smash me right in the face is quite nice. I wonder if I can get this to work in tandem with my ceiling fans. Either way, what I'm going to do now is get this whole area cooled off, and we're going to charge this battery up overnight, and we'll try it again tomorrow because it's going to be just as hot, and I'll see what I can do with the hoses and whatnot. All right, and that is pretty much it. The bottom line, the nitty gritty. Let's get down to it. Is this thing good at what it does? Yes. If you do it properly and you have it vented outside of the area that you're trying to either cool down or warm up, the thing's badass. It's beefy, you get what you pay for, and it'll probably keep you happy. That's all to say that nonsense with my curtain and not having the hoses drawn, it didn't work out so well. Like, it keeps the immediate air right in front of the vent cool, but you got to vent it the heck out of the space. It's just seems like science to me. And on the note of charging, the battery, first and foremost, does not come with the unit. It is a separate purchase. I mean, you can't really see it. It's right there. That thing, when it was dead, I don't know how quite long it took to charge. Didn't seem very long. It actually charges quite quickly, but that's because it uses a huge draw. So as an example, you do with this what you may. I have a 200 amp hour battery that powers Lucky, and from 100% charge on that house battery, plugging this in to my inverter, my 2000 watt inverter, the battery will go from completely dead to 100% full, and that takes 50% of my available amp hours in that lithium battery. So that's hefty, right? So in my humble opinion, the battery is going to be very specific to certain people that want to take that and be away from power and still get, you know, the benefits that this unit offers. I say this thing is perfect if you have shore power. It's got such a power draw that's what, in my opinion, in my van life, where it would fit the best. You may have other uses for it for sure. Now, it's going to take some DIY for me to get the hoses properly working in Lucky. I will be doing a follow-up video in the next couple months after I've lived with it through the summer to see what it's actually like. And then in terms of the heating function, I think that's really cool that you can switch from an air conditioner to a heater. To answer the question, will this be replacing my diesel heater? Well, no, for the same reasons. Like the power consumption is just wow. But that's like anything this big, right? It would be great in an emergency situation if the diesel heater goes out and you got to stay warm, or again, if you were tenting in the cooler months, this thing might be perfect, especially with the battery. Might be a little bit better than something like a Mr. Buddy that could, you know, potentially kill you. Anyway, that is it. The EcoFlow Wave 2 is a pretty powerful unit. It's very cool to see them making stuff like this smaller and smaller. What do they want me to say? Click the link in the description, use my code VANLIFE+, all one word, to get an extra 3% off on the Wave 2 until June 15th. So this is a brand new product. There is a bit of a sale going on right now. Use those links if you're thinking about picking this up. Yeah, I'll probably get a little bit of a kickback, but again, I just want to try to get you guys these at reduced rates as much as I possibly can, if it is something that you're interested in. I am leaving this one here. Thank you so very much for watching. Until the next one, go out there, be happy, be creative, be yourselves. Most importantly, be positive. And remember, only dead fish go with the flow. The Wave 2, not a dead fish. Damn.